everybody, V here. I'm so sorry that this video was so late. My family and I have been dealing with the fires in the area that we live in, and I am just now getting back to work, so sorry about that. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most popular cryptids in history, the elusive Bigfoot, also known as the Sasquatch. Now guys, this is my absolute favorite cryptid, and I'm super excited to tell you guys all about it. So I guess the best place to start is to talk a little bit about when the first alleged Bigfoot sighting occurred in North America. And if you do a little bit of digging into the North American history, you will find that the first sightings of Bigfoot, as well as footprints and shelters, were discovered by the Native Americans. The Native Americans have many stories and folklore regarding Bigfoot, and they have many names for Sasquatch, such as the Wild Man or the Hairy Man. I will go ahead and include a link to a website that I found that has all the different names that the Native Americans have for Bigfoot. Another well-known first sighting of Bigfoot was by a British explorer by the name of David Thompson, who spotted Bigfoot footprints in North America in 1811. Now, the most famous sighting of Bigfoot was a sighting in the fall of 1967 in Northern California by two men, Roger Patterson and Robert Bob Gimlin. The two men recorded the encounter, and that footage became the most famous video footage of Bigfoot at that time. The two men were riding horses along the east bank of Bluff Creek near Klamath River on October 20th, 1967, when they spotted a very large, hairy, bipedal creature crouching beside the creek on their left. Patterson initially stated that the creature's approximate height was 6.5 to 7 feet tall, and that the creature had short reddish-brown colored hair covering most of its body. Patterson stated that he was about 25 feet from the creature at his closest, and his horse had reared into the air once it had sensed the creature. After calming his horse, Patterson then retrieved his camera from his pack and began filming. After a few moments, the Bigfoot started to walk away from the area, and that is when Gimlin stated that Patterson started to run after it. Patterson filmed the creature for a little under a minute, and the footage is quite a bit shaky because part of it was taken while Patterson was running after the Bigfoot. During the last part of the film, you can clearly see the Bigfoot look over its shoulder at the two men before strolling behind a grove of trees in a wooded area. Gimlin was reported to have followed the creature until he lost sight of it when it went around a bend in the road about 300 yards away. The men tried to continue to track the creature for another 1 to 3 miles, but eventually gave up and headed back to their campsite to retrieve plaster and casting supplies for the footprints. They later returned to the original sighting area and made 2 plaster casts of the creature's footprints. This famous sighting has been thought to have been a massive hoax, one of which Patterson created himself, while Gimlin continues to state that he was not in on the hoax and was unaware that anything that had happened was not real. So, now that we have a timeline of some of the very first actual sightings of Bigfoot, let's talk a little bit about what Bigfoot is described to look like, as well as a little history on its known whereabouts. Sasquatch is said to be between 6 and 15 feet tall. The Bigfoot footprints have been measured to be 24 inches in length and 8 inches in width. Bigfoot is said to have either grayish-white colored hair or reddish-brown or black colored. Its face, hands, and feet are usually the only areas on the body that are hairless, and it has been stated by witnesses that when getting close to the creature, you can clearly smell a musky, stinky odor coming from its body. Bigfoot is said to weigh anywhere from 400 to 1,000 pounds, and its most well-known feature is the sagittal crest on its head and its large brow ridge. It is estimated that 1/3 of all Bigfoot sightings occur in the Pacific Northwest, but Bigfoots have also been spotted in other states in North America, as well as other countries. In Nepal, they call Bigfoot the Yeti, and in Australia, they have the Yowie. The orang pendek lives in Indonesia, and the skunk ape is Florida's Bigfoot. While most sightings of Bigfoot are thought to be misidentified sightings of a black bear or even a human in a ghillie suit, most witnesses state that the creature that they saw moved in a way that made them feel that it was human-like and not an animal. Also, the creatures more than not leave behind massive footprints that can be later casted in plaster. While most believers think that Bigfoot could be an alien left behind on our planet to either collect samples of the planet or to observe humans, others believe that he is the missing link between humans and apes. Around 20% of Americans believe that Bigfoot is real, and while that number is quite low, I think that it will continue to grow as more and more sightings of the creature occur. My opinion of Bigfoot is that I do believe that it is real. I base this belief on the fact that the world is huge, and most of it is uninhabited and densely wooded, which would allow creatures such as Bigfoot to exist without being seen by humans. I myself live in the Pacific Northwest, and I grew up camping and gold mining, and as a young child, me and my younger brother were told stories of Bigfoot. We were raised to not be afraid of it, but rather intrigued. As I grew up, my interest in Bigfoot grew, and I continued to be fascinated with the thought of a large, bipedal creature like Bigfoot existing in the woods surrounding the valley that I live in. I think that rather than Bigfoot being paranormal, it may instead be something that has existed on this planet before us, and it just chooses to hide from mankind because of our natural hostility. I myself am comforted by the fact that there are creatures living on this planet that are a mystery to us. Unfortunately, they will continue to be a mystery to us as long as we continue to be aggressive and mean to each other. Well guys, that's it for this video. I really hope you liked this one. I know that I really enjoyed making it and doing all the research into it. If you would like information about Bigfoot, I will go ahead and link all the articles that I got my information from in the information section below. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.